Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to Asset World with me, BonBonB. I'm BonBonB, you're very welcome. And this is the city build where we use the assets reviewed in WhatMap, both past and present, and only those assets, nothing more, nothing less. This week we're using this week's assets and those from August 2017. Now, last week we had some trouble connecting, I say we, it was me, the Scotney Gardens by Rick 4000, the road. We had trouble connecting it with the main road and the network, and it was as simple as switching on Fine Road Anarchy. There you go, switched it off now, it won't connect. And if we switch on the Fine Road Anarchy, and it clicks straight away, like that. So it was as simple as that, and no problems at all anymore. Right, let's have a look at the assets that we're using in this week's build. On the right, on the left hand side of the road there's the old ones, and then we've got the new ones that you're looking at now. And I think this week we'll start with the new ones. Now, the first of all, from a WhatMap 458, we had the Renaissancehouse 11 commercial set. These are by Titan. And it's a lovely set. You get 3 different buildings in each set, possibly more actually. I've only checked out this particular set, and yes, I am fully aware that I'm putting the buildings on backwards. I wasn't at the time, but before the end of the episode I will fix this. But yes, fancy not noticing that the buildings are backwards. Oh, what a blunderous moment, and that's what they call an outtake. But I'm going to leave it in, just to show that everybody is fallible, even BonBonB. Now, next up, not so much an asset as a network. It's the Forest Path by Vilgard 92. Now, I have noticed that there's supposed to be some mosses on this road as well, and the mosses aren't really showing up. We will find it first of all, and we will pop it in there over there. So yes, the mosses aren't, the leaves kind of are, but the mosses aren't. So I don't know what the problem is. I have double checked and the mosses are active. So hopefully that will sort itself out in later episodes with any luck. At episode 460 of WhatMap, we reviewed Shibuya Ekimae Biru by Dangerous. Dangerous, his name is in Japanese, and I'm trying to find the perfect location for this, and I figured right about here we could do with an extra road. We are going to need some extra roads popped in, and that's elevated. We don't want it elevated, that's a bit better. So yes, I figured we could do with some new roads, and we're going to have to do a little bit of terraforming as well, connect up the old part of town with the downtown, with a little bit of we'll do some smoothing, I think, actually. There we are, and then we can pop the extra roads in like so, and another one off in, say, this direction, because we kind of filled up most of the space that I set out at the start of the city build. And of course, we're just gonna have to be creative and keep adding and expanding and adding, expanding until the RAM kills itself, which will happen at some point, of course, if the DLC doesn't kill us before then. Right, what were we looking for? Ah yes, the Shibuya Ekimae Biru. This uses the Anims, the mod for all the moving graphics and images. It's not going to stay there. I'm still not entirely happy with where it's going to go, but that'll do for now, and we'll budget across a little bit later. Now this one's nice. This is the parking zone 6x6 by Core 79, as reviewed in WhatMap 461. And yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a little bit of not detailing, but change one of the roads there. I want this clipping in so people going to the clinic can use the car park and wander across to the clinic. I think that kind of works like that. That'll do nicely indeed. Next up, we have the German Blockhouse 7 L1 to L5 by N2J, as reviewed in WhatMap 462, and I think that's going to work nicely somewhere around I'm not so sure. What? Probably here. It's just trying to make sure it looks in place with the building next to it. I'm not so sure. A bit of a sticks out like a sore thumb against that one. Oh, hang on. Right here, alongside that building. I think that looks that makes a lot more sense right there. I think leave a bit of room for a footpath up the side as well. So there we are. That's the German Blockhouse. Next up, we have the quirky asset of the week, and that was the Mushroom House O2 by Stonedmonkeyboy. And I think we did figure out that he must be stoned to have created such a wonderful thing. Actually, I did more detailing in the main episode 463, than I'm doing now. I may come back and do more work to this later. But yeah, that's the Mushroom House O2 by Stonedmonkeyboy. I think right there, to make sure we get a nice screenshot by peeping through the trees. Now let's have a look at some of the older stuff from August of last year. As reviewed in What's Map 91, way back. It's a Star Trek museum by isdraken. And this one, I'll say, in modern terms, I think the actual Enterprise could have a lot more detailing. Of course, it can't be an exact replica because I think, who owns the rights to Star Trek? Is it Paramount? Yeah, I don't think they'll appreciate use of images, but this is sufficiently different for it to be okay. So well done, isdraken, on the Star Trek museum. And then from episode 92, we had the Coles Supermarket Australia by Crazyglueit. And now trying to work out where we're going to pop this. And in that kind of gap's not going to be too bad. What I'll do is let's put in an access road along here. And I'm going to be using some surface painting to make some room for some car parks. We will be filling the car parks up later on. They're going to be aesthetic rather than actual functional car parks. I'm not that worried about it. We'll do a little bit of painting in there to like larger brush, otherwise we'll be here all day. And yeah, it's starting to look a little bit like a commercial area. Well, I'm not quite sure why we're going to have to we'll have the Enterprise there. It's as good a place as any. Now we have the Tokyo SKYTREE by Takachi 269. I think this was one of the first ones we did by Takachi. Oh look, now I've noticed that this building's on backwards. Told you I'd notice. And there we go. We'll select all of them and we will just flip that around. I quite like it as that. Just set at different levels. Nice commercial area. So now what we're going to do is trying to squeeze the SKYTREE into this area somehow by yeah. Unfortunately, because that Dubai building, the big bugger building with the twin towers on it, that one is causing some big glitching with the terrain there. There's not much we can do about that. So when we pop down the SKYTREE, it's not going to fit perfectly with the terrain. It will fit in there, but it's not, the terrain ain't gonna like it much. How about right about there, maybe ish there. There's a good location. But if we have a look round the back, we'll see some blue mantle and all that kind of jark there. Not good. So fortunately, we do have the linden tree from Mr. Maison that we've reviewed recently, and we can try and hide some of that with the linden tree. And in episode 100 we did another Mr. Maison tree, and we'll be able to use that for additional detailing purposes as well. First of all, let's find this linden tree, and we'll just pop a few down in the area. Let's get down to singles. There you go. I'm going to park them there, and then we'll just move it, copy and paste them across into the area that we want them in bulk. It's going to be just easier for me to do it that way. Right, so that one there is the Tokyo SKYTREE, as reviewed in What Map number 93, and that was from Takachi 269. We've got some very nice ones to come before the end of today's episode. A few to come, another 3 I believe. Right, so anyway, I think that kind of hides it a little bit better. It's it ain't perfect, and I need to switch on the Propaniki. But one thing I have noticed is I've got a oh, there you go. We're now on to the Odeon Cinema Complex by renewcom. I'm going to do the same here, leave some room for some parking on the front. But as I was saying, yes, I've noticed that my shift key operates for both prop it up and for the Ana key. So I'm going to have to change one of those keys so that I can use the Ana key. At the moment I can't use Ana key because it defuncts to prop it up, which is no good to me at the moment. So yeah, what we'll do is we'll just do a little bit of, make some room there for some car parking on the front. We'll decal that at some point, and it'll look all right, I think. Yeah, we'll move the Odeon back. We seem to be encroaching onto the road a little bit. Actually move the road forward. Right, so that is the Odeon Cinema Complex by renewcom, as reviewed in WhatMap 94. In WhatMap 95, we reviewed. Sorry, this is WhatMap 96. Sorry, we reviewed the Toronto Simcoe Place by JSF1, and this is where I'm going to start moving some buildings around, because I figured that this is going to be quite a nice little feature corner. And so I'm going to do a little bit of detailing here. I haven't forgotten WhatMap 95. I did at the time forget WhatMap 95. I got the asset down, but it's so small compared to the skyscrapers and these large buildings that I just completely missed it. So we will come back and we will be doing that one just before the end of the episode. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten it. It is a lovely, lovely little asset, that one. So let's move Shibuya, Ekimae, Biru in a little bit. And then we've got here the Toronto Simcoe Place by JSF1. That'll fit nicely in there. Leave a little bit of greenery there for a little bit of grass detail, plant detailing, of course. And of course, all we've got at the moment still is just the linden trees. That's all we've got at the moment. There will be more as we review more and catch up with some old episodes, and then we'll be able to do some other stuff as well. So that covers that one. Now let's do that. The outstanding, episode 95, the Conwy Pharmacy by Lost Gecko. What a lovely building this one is. One of the best, and quite comical as well. The shop window, when you get down to the shop window level, the detailing of the shop window is absolutely hysterical. Lost Gecko's got a great sense of humour. So anyway, trying to find the perfect location for it. Obviously the old part of town. I'm thinking opposite these residential properties. It doesn't quite look right over that side, but over here, popping it there, it kind of works, and I'm prepared to accept that. So that concludes that. I think if we pull back now, it looks all right, I think. And if I move over here, we can. How about some sunset? Some sunset? No, we had some sunset at the start, didn't we? Well, we'll hover up here. We'll just make do. Right, so that pretty much concludes that. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, cinematics is getting awkward with all these buildings in the way, and remembering what goes where. So I've decided, rather than cinematics this week, I'm going to go down to street level. I'll take you on a drive through, and we'll have a look at all the new buildings from street level. How does that sound to you, eh? I quite like it. I'll see if I can remember which ones are which as we hurtle along the highways at high speed. Right, so entering Asset World now. You can see the skyline. Look at the skyline. It's starting to be really striking. We're only had 10 episodes in. This is going to be one heck of a city, isn't it? It's going to eat the ram, I tell you. Ooh. Right, so let's head on up. The first things we're going to see are definitely going to be the Shibuya Ekimae Biru by Dangerous. That building on the corner there, it's really nice. And then opposite, of course, we got the Toronto Simcoe Place by JSF1. There she is. And then we've got the parking zone 6x6 by Core 79. Not really much you can see at ground level, and the decals are a little bit off at the moment, but hopefully that will be fixed soon. Then if we head up into the old part of town, well, we've got the Renaissancehouse 11 commercial set. There's also an office and residential set as well, in case you're wondering. There's the SKYTREE by Takachi 269. It's very smart. And then the German Blockhouse 7 L1 to L5 by N2J. Now we'll go cross country. Oh no, sorry, not yet. We'll have a look at the Conwy pharmacy. Look at that, it's so funny. Click pause and have a look at that image. It's amazing. And then we've got the Forest Path by Vilgard 92 with the missing moss decals. I don't know what's going on there. If is it just me or some, I don't know. It might be just my game at the moment. And then we'll head cross country to the Star Trek Museum by isdraken. And this one's quite a lot of fun. Quite a lot of fun. Could be work really well in a park life theme park maybe. I like that idea. The Coles Supermarket Australia by Crazyglueit. Great little asset, that one. And I think that's everything. No, we've forgotten something. We've forgotten the Odeon. Let's go across to the Odeon Cinema Complex by renewcom. There she is. It's a good building. Very nicely done. And then just one last thing to look at, which I will leave you to look at in peace as I sign off, and that is of course the Mushroom House O2 by Stonedmonkeyboy. Alright, that's it from Asset World this week. Join me again next Sunday for more Asset World, and throughout the week to see all the reviews of all the new assets. Thank you very much for watching, commenting, liking and subscribing. I've been BonBonB, you've been very welcome, and that's it from me. Thanks for watching.